Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to tonight's episode of the ZodWriter Show. I am ZodWriter, and with me, as always, is my co-host of the ZodWriter Show and friend for well over a decade, Mr. Johnny Alpha. What's up, Sleazy?
Not much, man. Just chilling. Like I told you before the show, man. I'm really happy I caught the ZodWriter and Sweet Sonia G last night. That was pure fire, man. Like having her talk about the ghosts and your whole simulation theory thing with Vega. Beautiful shit, man. Really
Yeah, it was
good
a lot. It was a
radio.
lot of fun, and her and I are intending to continue to do that show twice a week, and and everybody seems all pumped up on the whole choke out Zod hashtag, and
Right.
speaking of the whole choke out Zod hashtag, we got somebody here in the back who's going to join us. We have Bat Dan 530 hashtag choke out Zod. What's up, Bat Dan?
Nothing. I still hate Amber.
All right, on carrying on from last night. Yeah, dude. Invincible. She probably was one of the worst parts of the show. Just kind of, yeah. When she showed up, you're kind of just like, this bitch. Oh.
And we have a couple of people in the chat already. We have the ambassador. He says, I'll be there. Well, I mean, here, you know what I mean. Hey, it's good to see you, ambassador. You're always more than welcome to join the panel. And speaking of Sweet Sonia G from yesterday, we have Sweet Sonia G in the chat. Hey, Joey and Johnny, if you want to join the panel, you are, and hey, and she says, hey, Bat Dan, and if, Sonia, you're always welcome to join the panel if you'd like to as well, as you know. And we have the Bat Channel who says, how's it going, gents? How's it going, Bat Channel? Good to see you. I saw you earlier over at Sil Abdul's chat with Mikey Sutton, which was actually a really, really good live stream. Those streams are amazing. I love all of Sil Abdul's live streams. He's come quite a long way. What do you think, Bat Dan? You like Sil Abdul's live streams?
Oh, I love them. They're great. I look forward to them, every week. Or I don't know how you say, because it's like more than a week, but less.
It's more than a week, but less than. Yeah, it's really exciting because Sil, he really puts out a lot of good content. Like I said, he's come a long way, and I'm happy to be streaming with him. Me and Rhea have that. Trinity, with Sil, we've got that Coffee Talk Trinity thing that we do every other Thursday, and that's pretty fun too. So he's a good dude. I love Sil. I miss streaming with him on a regular weekly basis when we used to do it on the Four Nerds. I really think he's come a long way, and he's a great person. He really is. Like, I've gotten to know him over time, and it's just like, I mean, he's one of the best people that I've met out of the Snyder Cut movement. It's like we've met so many good people, and Bat Dan. I mean, I'm sure you can relate to what I'm saying. I mean, so many people that we've met that have been, it's been great. Like you and I, we wouldn't know each other if it wasn't for all this stuff. And again, like it's one of those things where, like what Johnny and we were talking about before we got on the show, about connecting and about how you're making those branches and meeting new people, meeting more people, and just getting to know people and forging friendships, and it's a beautiful thing. And the Bat Channel says agreed. Sil is great. Yes, he is. He really is. I can't stress that enough. I mean, and he looks like he's having so much fun on his live streams. When he does any live streams that he does, he loves talking about the stuff. He loves delivering the news. And I'm just glad he hooked up with a credible guy like Mikey Sutton, because it's nice to see him, be able to bring out that good information, that credibility, have people, with a winning record that he essentially has. And, I'm excited for some of the news that Mikey Sutton dropped today, Bat Dan.
Oh yeah,
the news about the fact that there's going to be that Batfleck is going to be used positively in the Flash movie. I'm kind of listening to him today. I'm a little bit more optimistic about the Flash movie, because I was kind of worried about it, but it sounds like if the stuff that Mikey Sutton is saying is true, Super Scooper Mikey Sutton. If the stuff he's saying is true, then we know that we can rest easy that The Flash is going to be a good film. And I hope it's true. Given that, but given Warner Brothers' track record, it's just hard to say. I don't know. What do you think, Matt, Dan?
I don't trust Warner Brothers, but I do trust Andy. I can't even say his name. Andy
Muschietti. Andy Muschietti. Yeah.
I trust him. So I trust him to do a good job to help make this film good, and especially because Ben Affleck is essentially like an uncredited writer of the film too.
Oh, I know. That's the beauty part of it too. And I keep saying, and I don't know about you guys, what you guys think, but I keep saying that, Ben Affleck would not have agreed to be in this movie if they were just going to crap all over his character. If you're not going to do my character justice, pun intended, why do I want to be in the movie? Why do I want to take part in that? I mean, coming off of the Snyder Cut, this Flash movie has to be a good movie. It has to be. I mean, if it's not a good movie, DC is going to be having a horrible, horrible misstep. But one of the things that we know that's positive is even if the Flash movie is a miserable failure and it's a hunk of crap of a film, it's coming out after the merger. So that means that Discovery is going to be able to, see, hey, if this doesn't work out, we know where we're going from here, because again, they know there's money in the Snyderverse. So I'm kind of straddling, a little bit of excitement now for the movie, because again, I'm not gonna lie. I grew up with Michael Keaton as Batman. I like Michael Keaton. I'm excited to see Michael Keaton suit up. Who's not excited to see Michael Keaton suit up? I mean, come on. Jesus Christ. If you love the character of Batman and you liked the Batman movies, then you must be a fan of Michael Keaton's Batman. I mean, it's kind of like, he was unique for the role. He was unique. Just like Ben Affleck was unique. Just like George Clooney was unique. They're all unique for the role. I mean, and they all fit their version of Batman very, very well. Even George Clooney in Batman and Robin was a horrible movie, but he was the perfect Batman for that movie because he played it.
Movie, exactly.
He played it like it was written. He played it lame, dull, and boring as only he could. And that's why I say this is why I can't crap on George Clooney, because I feel like if George Clooney was given a different script and was told to play Batman differently, he would have.
If I'm being honest, I wouldn't say we've ever gotten a bad Batman yet. I think
I don't think so.
Played their part to their strength and what their film was supposed to be about. Unlike, you know what I mean? And that's what I kind of appreciate, and that's why I'm not too worried about this new film. But I'm glad that they're continuing on with Batfleck, because I'm not going to lie, that Lord of the Rings-esque ending at the end of the Snyder Cut with Deadshot really, really made me hungry, made me thirsty to see where that was going, and like I kind of really want that film now. So,
with that, you mean Deathstroke?
Deathstroke. What did I say? Deadpool?
Deadshot.
My bad.
Oh yeah, same here. But yeah, we need Batman v Deathstroke.
Yeah, we definitely need Batman v Deathstroke. We need to see that. And speaking of somebody else who is a part of this fandom and who's just a great, great guy, and it's going to be great to have him on the panel. Welcome, Mr. Ambassador. How are you tonight, sir?
Right on.
Doing well, gentlemen. It's always a pleasure. And, well, hey, if you're a DC fan or if you're a Snyder Cut fan, it's nothing but good news. So, and I honestly am glad to hear that they are finally going to be doing a domestic release for the Snyder Cut. And I'm actually, it comes out in September, month of my birth. So I already know what
September 7th. It's finally getting its domestic release. But here's the caveat to the domestic release front that I'm a little bit nervous about. Number one, the release that we're getting is the same exact release that they got overseas. It was just like I said before. There's no special features. The only benefit to buying the domestic release over the European release that came out back in May, the only difference is that you get a digital copy. So you'll be able to, add it to whatever digital file locker you have for movies. That's really the only difference. Other than that, there's no difference. It's right down to the box art. Everything's the same. There's no real difference. So I've made my personal decision.
They're not adding any, even for the 4K. They're not adding in any special features at all. No making of, no nothing.
No,
WB
nothing.
said no, according to Zack Snyder.
WB said no. Yeah, they're not adding anything.
Then what's the then? Okay, with all due respect, as a film fan and somebody who loves to know how they did everything, what's the bloody point of buying the movie if they aren't going to even include how they made the movie and how?
And not only that, to add insult to injury, they're not even including the black and white Justice Gray edition. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm not really excited for the release, but I am going to support it in the form of the Zack Snyder's Justice League trilogy box set.
They might want to put that black and white one out as a separate release, make a little extra money off of that. That might be why that one's not included, though, because they kind of released those for other films. Like Logan and Mad Max, they both put out the black and white ones, and I think those ones outsold the regular DVDs for them. So that might be their plan for the black and white version.
Yeah, but I'm all in on this box set. This box set looks beautiful. It's an 8-disc box set. It's supposed to have the 4K and standard Blu-ray editions of all three of the Snyderverse films, and I counted it that if each set is 2 discs, you have two discs for Man of Steel, 2 discs for BVS, that's 4 discs, and you're gonna have 4 discs for for Zack Snyder's Justice League, because Zack Snyder's Justice League is spread across 4 discs, because you're gonna have 2 4K discs and 2 standard Blu-ray. That's why it's 8 discs. It's not, you're not getting anything additional. You're not getting any bonus features or whatever. But I just like the way that box set looks. I think that box set looks incredible.
Well, for heaven's sakes, I mean, I don't want to cut you off, Zod. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Well, here's I already have Man of Steel and BVS Ultimate Edition, both on Blu-ray, and I'm happy with that. I don't really want to buy 2 other movies I already own. I mean, yeah, it's cool that they're doing the box set and everything for people that want to have the box set, but are they just going to do Zack Snyder's Justice League on its own, or is the only way you can get his? They are going to do it just on its own.
I pre-ordered it.
Yeah, you can get it. You can get it on its own, but like I said, it's exactly the same as the overseas release.
Well,
the only difference is that you're getting a digital copy with it in the United States. That's the only difference.
Excuse me for let me be blunt. What a freaking jip.
Yeah, I agree, because there's so much content that they can include with this movie. There's so much material that Zach did. Not only that, you got deleted scenes, you got that commentary track that Zach
I'd want
promised that Zach promised at the end of the BVS Blu-ray. So I'm kind of like, well, I imported it from the UK, so I'm not going to buy the separate standalone Zack Snyder's Justice League release unless I buy it for somebody else as a gift. But as far as like the rest of it goes, it's just like, they're not spending any more money on it, because again, we have to remember this is a movie they never wanted to release in the first place. So this is where we are. It's like, it's very controversial.
Just to be blunt, I'll just say, to hell with it. I'm not even going to bother buying it. I'll just keep my subscription for HBO Max and be done with it, because it's on there. I can go watch it whenever I want. If they're not if they are not going to incentivize me to go buy the bloody thing on home video, then why the hell should I?
You know what?
If I am not going to get any deleted scenes, if I am not going to get a commentary track, if I am not going to get a making of or vignettes or featurettes or whatever, I'm
Motivate
gonna put
Discovery. Motivate
I'm gonna put
Discovery. If it sells out, Discovery will look at that.
Yeah. Well, that's the funny part. I feel like regardless of the fact that the movie is, I said this before, if you're really, really a diehard like myself, you already imported it from the UK. This is the UK release right here. Zack Snyder's Justice League on Blu-ray, right? The only difference,
love the cover. Cover looks good.
The only difference between the US version and the UK version is the US version doesn't have the UK rating certificates on the bottom of the box.
No,
but that's really the only difference.
What a bloody chip.
Yeah,
even Marvel, for those of us like myself who followed the entire Infinity Saga, they did an Infinity Saga box set and they loaded that sucker down with features. I mean, features on top of features on top of features. It's insane. But Warner Brothers isn't even doing the god dang decency to add any special features for a movie that a lot of people wanted to see, a lot of people who hadn't had a chance to see it that wanted to see it, and they're not giving anyone any incentive to buy the box set? Are they brain damaged?
They don't want to admit it's a success.
Warner Brothers is still trying to play off that it's not a big deal. That the movie was not a big deal is what they're still trying to play off.
At this point, I want to look at the execs and say, how many times were you dropped on your head as a child, or how many wedgies did you receive as a kid, or how many times did you get swirled and did it screw up your brain? This is basic marketing 101.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with everything you're saying, Ambassador. It's just crazy. And just to add insult to injury so that people know, the Zack Snyder's Justice League
Zod,
quote-unquote trilogy box set.
You've got a spammer in your chat, man.
Oh, do we really?
You've got 2 or 3, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Well, if I have any mods, you guys can do what you do. I mean, it's that's fine. Let's see.
Just give them. I think your mods are working on it. I just saw it pop up. I'm gonna pop over to.
Yeah, let's go from there. But just to add insult to injury on the whole Snyder Cut, the Zack Snyder's Justice League trilogy thing, they got rid of the Zack Snyder's Justice League trilogy on Amazon. It's not even on Amazon. It's not even there anymore. It was up and now it's not. You go to the link and there is no link anymore. So they took it down. So it's more games that WB is playing, whether or not, they.
Yep, that's why you gotta get the pre-order quickly so that I put it.
You've got another one in your chat, Zod. Hang on.
All right. Well,
Zod, if you want to make me a mod, I will take care of this.
Oh, I thought you were already a mod. I'm sorry.
No,
okay,
no, it's okay.
Oh God,
Zod, I didn't.
That is not okay. Whoever did that last one.
I already got it. I already dropped it.
Good.
Wow.
That's just too far.
This is amazing.
What's it?
You've made it when you're being spammed to death by people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me go ahead and make some people some mods here. I didn't, I thought I had mods. Where are all my mods at? I thought I had mods. Thought I made about 900 mods for this show, for these shows. Let's see. We have. Let's see. I actually thought you were a mod here.
I'll type something into. Oh,
I'm gonna go ahead and make you a mod. Don't worry, Ambassador.
You son of a bitch.
Add moderator.
Sorry.
Let's see.
That's fine, dude. That's way less than anything I ever say, Ambassador. So.
Yeah, I didn't know. Let's see. Yeah, type something in the chat, Ambassador, so I can make you a mod here.
Yeah, give me 2 seconds, and I'll be more than happy to. Smash. There, I just put something in the chat.
Okay, you put something in the chat. Okay, there we go.
Yep.
Wow. I don't think I've ever had this happen before. Not on this level. Wow.
Some smart ass.
You've been made a mod.
Good. Thank you.
Wow, that's incredible. So what did I do to get hated? I want to know what happened.
I have absolutely no idea.
Does anybody
Patty
know?
Drake has unleashed her wrath.
Hey, Zod, Sonia's in the chat and everything. You might give her a wrench too.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give her a wrench.
Yeah, you're done. Bye.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give her a wrench as well. What a show! Wow, this show has gotten some attention, I guess, huh? Really? Hateful how?
Oh, you're just honest, Zod. If people don't like that, they can go fuck themselves.
I'm honest. I'm not hateful. I don't hate anybody. Who do I hate? I mean, I've come to the conclusion
who
that
the hell is a sponsor?
that's so funny. Like, I've never seen anything like this. Well, you know what, guys? I do go through all of the chats here. So Anthony, what's up, man? Good to see you. It's a slap in the face, kind of. I mean, I don't know. Like, it's like Johnny was saying, maybe people are going to make some money later. Maybe they're gonna, WB's gonna make some, they're saving. And again, after the merger, there'll probably be another box set anyway. So
yeah.
God, is this the reason why people don't I guess this is the reason why people don't do open panel. Because you do open panel and then you get your backstage full of trolls. I guess that's why people don't do it. Zombie Nomad, hi, I'm new here. Hi, I hope you're
Careful.
I hope you're here to I hope you're here to I hope you're here because you actually care about what we're saying or you want to participate and you're not here to troll me. Neil 7 says, suck it, Warner Brothers. Exactly. Let's see. LOL. We're gonna go through it here. Everybody can see. We're gonna see what's going on. Who are you, dude? Yoba always wins. Who's this guy?
Don't worry about it. Just I'm knocking these suckers out.
Yeah.
Hey, Neon Sci-Fi's here. Okay. Katsuka's here. You might want to make Neon and Katsuka wrenches. Oh, for crying out loud. I don't know who you...
If I didn't have a headache, I'd be drinking beer right now.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah.
I think I have an idea. I'll talk to Zod afterwards, though.
Smart.
Oh, you have an idea, huh? Oh, yeah, I think I have an idea too, Johnny. I think I know where you're going with that.
Yep.
Oh, you're Johnny. Sorry. Okay.
Oh,
hey,
my
Tim
bad. Yeah.
here. Hey, Tim.
Yeah, Bat Dan. It's me as always. How's the head, by the way, man? Is it getting better?
I mean, good enough to go to be at work. So, I mean, I still feel something every now and again. What didn't help was that recently I bumped my head actually on one of the carts. I was getting a package and I hit my head. It's like in the spot where I got hit. So, we'll see. I'm actually seeing my doctor tomorrow for foot pain because I have flat feet too. So, I don't know. bring stuff about the head too. So yeah, but that's what you get when companies care. I shouldn't say anything because we're live
Yeah.
and I don't want to get my employer pissed at me.
Hey, Marcus
yeah.
Cruz, good to see you, man.
Yeah,
Or at
we're
least
just
Thanos
right
cut.
now. I'm sorry about the sorry about the lull here.
Oh, God.
We're just cleaning up. We're just cleaning up the
Enough of this.
cleaning up the chat right now.
Clean up, everybody do your share.
I'm working on it.
So. Oh, by the way, like my hat.
Oh yeah. What does your hat say? Let's see.
It's the House of Wayne crest.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's really cool. That's nice.
Another one of the Batfleck campaigns. Batfleck movie campaigns.
Oh, for Pete's sakes, enough.
Wow.
More and more.
Does anybody even know who Hassan is, or is that a person?
No, and
or?
I don't particularly care. Hassan can go shove his head up his ass.
Yeah, I don't know who these people are, honestly. I don't know who these people are, really. It's confusing, you know.
Just people who have nothing better to do with their times, and I don't know. Just people are stupid, but you know.
Well, I just think it's bizarre because again, I don't I don't particularly have any issues with
says
anybody.
Hassan is a Twitch person. Do you know anybody on Twitch that you might have offended?
Well, no, I don't even go on Twitch, so I'm not sure what that's even about.
No
idea. I don't even go on Twitch.
Twitch is basically like YouTube, only they don't copyright as much. That's
right. But I don't go on Twitch, so it's kind of like like that. So I don't know who I would have offended on Twitch. That's
no idea. Don't even worry about
People are offended by everything nowadays. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah. This is crazy. I'm like, wow. I mean, it's a whole ton of people, and it's like I'm wondering if it's all the same person with just multiple
probably.
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah, it's just bots coming in doing it, dude. Most likely.
Yeah, Marcus Cruz, Jim Bastard, do you think Millie Bobby Brown can be Valerie Richards even though she's 17 already and she's just 5'4", by the way? I'd have to take a look at her, Marcus, because honestly, I don't know. I'd have to look at the character design itself, and I'd have to look at who Millie Bobby Brown is. I don't honestly know.
Stranger Things.
Yeah, she's set 11.
Right? Oh, her.
Yes.
Yeah. I'd have to look at the character and then.
They're just gonna put her in everything now. Let's be honest. She's like probably the most popular child actress ever.
IP2 raid, by the way. Zombie Nomad. Okay.
We all
Why did I get the feeling this guy is the one that was in?
Yeah, but I don't know who Hassan is. Okay.
I don't. Well, apparently it's Neo 7 saying that's Cenk Uyghur's cousin from TYT. And I know what that means.
The Young Turks. They're a liberal news thing. Like, I don't think they raid people's Zack Snyder live streams, man. I don't think they care.
So it looks like
you're mad at me because we're talking about Zack Snyder. I mean,
I don't. You've got your inches now. Let's move back over onto the topic. So if they pop in again. So anyway,
sounds good. Talking about the DVD sets and the rip-off.
Oh yeah. So the DVD set thing. Well, yeah. I mean, they can do what they want to do. Like I said, the DVD set, the Blu-ray set that they have, it looks nice, but they kind of took it off of Amazon. So I don't know. Maybe they're going to make some corrections and some adjustments. I don't know.
Well, see, the box set thing, they should put all the special features in that. Now, I can understand like just the regular movie being a bare bones release, because most studios, that's what they put out for DVDs and Blu-rays. They really want physical media to die, so they don't really deck out DVDs or Blu-rays very often anymore. So, but like that box set version should have all the shit in it, in the story. Story.
That's like, what's the whole point of a box set then? Because I already own Batman v Superman. I own Man of Steel. What reason would I have to buy the box set if you're not going to put in the special features?
Yeah. Well, special features are a staple of these kinds of box sets, and they're definitely successful. People definitely want that, but again, I don't think Warner Brothers really cares. I don't think they want to. Again, this is a movie that they never wanted released in the first place.
Yeah.
They're still just trying to bury it, which is the stupidest thing.
Anthony, if you got timed out, I apologize. If you got timed out, it was probably because of we were trying to get rid of all of the unnecessary trolls that we had in the chat. So
Anthony,
that's
sorry about that.
If you got hit as a result of that, I apologize. We know who you are. We know you're not one of the trolls. So don't worry, Anthony. You're okay.
Yeah, Anthony.
WB doesn't care about the fans. Yeah, that's the whole point. They don't care. But the whole point is, yeah, if you buy it, Steven is right. He says buy it all. It's a collector's thing. That's exactly right. If you collect it, if you want to collect it, that's what it's for, just to have it in physical media. Because I'm sure after the merger, if they do decide to continue forward and do some more movies, they'll probably put out an even better box set, and especially if all this bare bones stuff sells well.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's awesome.
Please, David Zaslav, if you're watching this.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, with all the trolls we had in the chat tonight, somebody's watching this. That's for sure.
Toby Emmerich, maybe.
Yeah, maybe it was Toby Emmerich. Who knows? Maybe. What's up, Truth? Good to see you, man.
Let's just say there's go on. I was going to say let's just say there's a reason why Toby Emmerich didn't get the job at Netflix he wanted. It's not because he did a good job.
Yeah. Well, that's true. I mean, Toby Emmerich. If what Mikey Sutton says is true, as you know, Bat Dan, if Mikey's telling the truth on this from what he's heard, Toby won't be back. Toby's on his way out the door. So if that's the case, that's good for us that want more of this stuff. But I got to go off topic a little bit, and I got to ask Johnny Alpha the $1 million question of the night from me to him. Did you finally get your Fist of the North Star hardcover, brother?
Yes, I did. I got it about 2 weeks ago, or a week ago. I have it. Yes, it's beautiful.
Have you read through it already? Did you? I mean,
oh, of course, yeah. Well, I mean, it's a really quick read. Manga is.
Yeah, and the fact that it went all the way up to the God's Army, into the God's Army arc.
Yeah, it was. I mean, like I say, like I was able to read through it quick, but it took like a bit, man. It's a nice thick book, so yeah, it's just good times, man. Like you can't beat that era of manga, in my opinion. Just
right.
Had that attitude and that spirit.
Yeah. It's
brutal, good stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely good stuff. I mean, and again, seeing it presented in such a wonderful, high quality way. I mean, that's.
Well, it really makes me want to see that new anime based just off of the manga, just like a straight adaptation that we always talk about. Makes me want to see that even more because like some of that stuff that's in this book didn't even make it into the original anime. So.
Exactly. And Katsuka, you're right on the money there, buddy. Exactly. So I'm sorry. I mean, I didn't really mean to derail the discussion, but I really wanted to ask Johnny about that before I forgot, because I remember like when I did my my episode where we talked a little bit about Fist of the North Star. It was North Star Tuesday. You hadn't received your copy yet. So
yeah, it was. Well, I pre-ordered it, and it was supposed to come the day it was released, because the postal service is still messed up in my part of the country, hasn't really gotten fixed since what happened. Yeah, I got it 3 days late. I think I got it on Friday instead of Tuesday that week.
Yeah. Again, like I said, I couldn't be happier with the quality of the volume, and if it continues. If they continue to pump those out in the same quality, which it looks like that's what they're going to do, I couldn't be happier with the direction things are going. And we're about to welcome another prime example of a high quality person, my good friend Prime. What's up, buddy?
What's good with it? What's good, gentlemen?
Man, we was fighting a troll attack earlier, Prime. And there was so much. There were a bunch of trolls in the back too that I had to get rid of. Y'all just don't know. There was about just as many trolls in the back as there is people on the panel right now. And I was just blocking folks left and right. I've never had anything like that happen before, Prime.
Hey, but trolls are welcome. Let them incriminate themselves. Oh, not these trolls.
These trolls are a bunch of.
Yeah.
But,
these trolls were doing it for some other reason, which I have no idea. I mean, I'm like, I don't know why people would get mad at me, because number one, I'm not political. I don't engage in discussions with regards to politics. So if you're coming at me for political reasons, I don't know why you would come at me, because I don't talk about politics. Number two, if you don't like Zack Snyder, there's a lot of other places you can go, and you can look at content. So I don't understand why you're offended by me. It's like, listen, I don't care. I'm just doing my thing. It's like I speak my mind. That's it.
Zod, you ought to be honored that supposedly Chink Uyghur was in the private chat.
Hey, it's to each his own, man. Who
was the guy?
Chink Uyghur, he's the head of the Young Turks. You ought to be honored. Take a look at your private chat. There's a bunch of messages from a few minutes ago, and at the very bottom at 8:23, it says, "Can you please let me in, Chink Uyghur?"
What?
I would have been
serious. Look at your private chat.
We had him on the show. Like, he's a pretty cool guy. I watch the Young Turks sometimes.
I wouldn't watch it if I was high or drunk.
What's up?
I said I wouldn't watch that if I was high or drunk.
Okay. Well, I mean, teach their own. Yeah. It would be hilarious if it really was him and he wanted to hop on.
Oh, I doubt it.
No, I doubt it too.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Considering all the people who were here, I don't know.
Well, this guy's on the verge of being like real famous. He's like that type of YouTube famous.
Guys,
trying to get in.
Guys, I just looked at a picture of this guy because I really didn't know who he was, and he was in the chat. He was in the back room. I didn't even know who he was, but he was in the back, and I booted him. I recognize his face.
Oh, God.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, you better than me, Zod.
I didn't know. I'm sorry. I didn't know, man. I didn't know who you were. I didn't know you from Adam. All I know was there was a bunch of people in here spamming the hell out of my chat. So I just booted everybody.
Oh, they were spamming. Okay.
Yeah,
they were spamming the chat hard time. It was a bunch of bots. That's only reason.
But I mean he was. That was his face. He was here. He was in the chat. He would have, if I would have let him on the panel. The guy, that was the guy. But see, again, that's how I'm not into a lot of things. I don't follow, political or polarizing people like that. I'm not into, I don't know anything about that stuff. So
wise man.
So yeah, that's That's what that is. But yeah. What? So Johnny, what would you have said to the guy if I would have let him on the chat? I don't,
I don't know. I honestly don't know. It's not like I'm a fan or anything. I just know of him. I know that he's pretty big YouTube guy, and if he was trying to get on this show, that's interesting. You know what I mean? I'm not saying anything bad about us. It's just like we're way lower on the food chain. So either somebody really made that guy think we're a racist, or I don't know how, because like I can definitely speak for myself and ZodWriter here that we're like, we are so not, but whatever. Like, I don't know. I'm offended by what was said, even if it was just fake by trolls or whatever. So
yeah, some of that stuff was really awful.
Should I get offended by people online? Let them say what they say.
You should have seen what they said. Even Bat Down was saying they were going too far, man, and they did. So
yeah. Very much so with Prime. Trust me.
Yeah, they were saying all
they were pushing it as hard as they could. They dropped the N-word a few dozen times. There was a lot of offensive stuff in there, so trust me.
Well, again, I said, lucky it wasn't me.
Nicotine is here. Nicotine's popping up everywhere. Nicotine was even on my channel Sunday night.
Are you the real Nicotina or are you another troll?
No, it's the real Nicotina.
That's a question I have because, Nicotina hasn't talked to me for months. So I literally forgot Nicotina was even alive. I don't know. Well, good to see you,
He's very much alive.
Glad you're here, buddy. Glad to see you, man.
Hey, Andre.
I didn't even know this dude was for real. And what's up, South Cali guy? Good to see you, man. Yeah. See, it's nice to see that the chat is filling up with friends again and is back to normal as opposed to what we had to deal with before. But I feel like you haven't made it unless you've been ratioed by a bunch of trolls, I guess.
Nah. I don't tolerate trolls. I just smash them. I smash them as hard as Superman smashed Steppenwolf in the face repeatedly.
South Cali guy says, "What's going on, Zod? Always great to see you, brother. Always great to see you too, South Cali guy." Nicotina Show says, "What's up, Bat Channel?" Yeah, Bat Channel's cool people. So what's up with you, Prime? What's your take on all this DVD, Blu-ray box set nonsense that we got going on right now? What do you think is happening?
Well, I'll put you like this. I think since HBO Max is in profit and they see that's the first thing. HBO Max has gained a profit, so they're doing very well. Then on top of that, since all the actual physical discs have been successfully selling overseas, we knew it was going to come into the U.S. We just didn't know when. But I think with all the stuff that's going on with it, I think it's good. I mean, they will see exactly how. See, now you won't get streaming numbers. So now you'll get actual sales.
That's true.
When people, you can't fabricate sales. So, now when you finally see those numbers, like now, especially the numbers where the disc sets and everything are selling greatly overseas. And they pretty much only look at domestic anyway. They really don't care about the numbers overseas. They care about the numbers domestically. So, once it fully comes in September, that ain't long, but I want to see exactly the numbers of, is it going to sell out the first day, which I think it will, or will it sell out the first, maybe the first 2 days, because it's going to sell out extremely quick. Now, the good thing about it is that there's still people that have not watched Justice League. They still haven't watched it because they didn't get HBO Max. They just didn't get it. So, and I think a lot of people was going to wait for it to come on physical disc anyway, for them to watch it. So, that's going to be a good thing, for that more exposure. And then, on top of that, Zach is about to have that theater, the theater showing for the IMAX theaters, where you put your bid in and all that stuff, and then who will win and they'll get the trip. So he's doing that as well. So the promotion of the actual movie is actually doing well. But, just for the physical disc, I love it. I mean, I have mine. I'll probably get 2 just to have it. Because just in case one.
I probably, I'll probably get the box. Like I said, I'm probably going to get the box set. And then, like, if I buy it, I probably won't buy myself an actual separate physical copy because I already imported one. But I'll probably, gift it to a couple of people and that kind of thing because, it's cool. I mean, it's going to get its support, like you said, and I'm pretty sure it's going to sell out pretty fast. So.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you never know. The U.S. version might be different than the overseas one.
No, I looked at the specs. It's the exact same set as the one we got overseas.
Okay. So
only difference is it comes with a digital copy.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, everything's the same, right down to the same cover art and everything. Only thing it doesn't have is those, European like certification stamps at the bottom of the case. But other than that, it's the same, same exact release. I'm kind of baffled, to be honest with you. You would think that they would, they don't want to spend the money, but the fact that Snyder didn't even get to put out his commentary for the Justice League movie is a tragedy because he hyped it up at the end of BVS, at the end of his BVS commentary.
I don't know. He might do it.
Well,
he might.
Oh, I think he did it already. He probably recorded it, but WB didn't include it. So I don't know.
Hey, we'll just have to wait. We don't know yet.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. I don't know.
We have to wait and see. If WB is being that, being that shiesty, so be it. It might be some things later on down the line. We don't know. But other than that, I'm kind of salty that, they're not going to insert the dialogue with Joker and Bruce, or they insert the Green Lantern scene.
From the trailer, the honor.
No, not that. I'm just talking about the actual scene itself because I got the scene.
Yeah, that's a deleted scene. Yeah,
they just didn't want to put it in there. Zach put it up there and said, "No, Warner Bros. Didn't want me to put it in it, so not even for this." So
you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking a good fan edit. Edit that scene back in and edit the Green Lantern scene back in at the end too. A good fan edit to take care of that.
That's if Zach still happened to, release it on Vero or something, just that scene with Green Lantern, and he puts it out there, then everybody will go nuts, and then you can get a lot of fan edits. I know I do it. I'll go ahead and I'll edit it up and and insert it, but. How would you, I would like to, insert John Jones with it too, but, it is what it is.
Well, I had a theory about what could possibly happen with the Green Lantern scene. I mean, now, again, I know some people don't think this is likely, but if they were to do Zack Snyder's Justice League 2, find a way to incorporate the scene in that movie.
Which movie?
If let's say that David Zaslav says Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 and 3, we're doing it right now, and to incorporate the scene in that movie.
Oh yeah. Well, that's a huge possibility, but that's a huge possibility. Or how they could sell. Well, I have a theory. Because we know the air cut is gonna come out.
Oh yeah.
We know that's gonna come out. Maybe they can include those scenes with the air cut to like push the brand, to push it, because that will really, really make sales. So if they promote it properly the way they promote it that way, this is just a theory. This is not concrete, but it's an idea. You get to see the Green Lantern and the actual. The deleted scenes from the actual Snyder cut, in there. So, I mean, it all depends on how they do it. If they, it's all type of ways they can do it. But Warner Brothers being shiesty, so I doubt it.
Well, that's why we have Discovery, because some of the stuff that, like special features, we don't have to worry about actors getting too old for those because filmed. So, I
mean, like I say, everybody is getting their hopes up, like over the helm. I advise a lot of people just to, take a step back a little bit, because wait till a lot of stuff start to unfold until you see certain pieces start to build up and come into fruition. Because at this particular time and moment, we don't know what's going to happen. We understand Discovery, they're in the mix now, but don't be too naive that, they're going to really change stuff around. I understand that. I can't believe the CEO for Discovery, is it Voslov or Dazlov or I can't think of his name.
Zaslav.
Okay. So at this particular one,
that's what I'm talking about, man. The 7-hour cut, the definitive Snyder cut. Just put it out.
The Snyder cut of the Snyder cut. Yeah.
Nah, not really. I would just say,
4 hours is good. 4 hours is plenty.
Yeah, 4 hours is fine. I just think, once the air cut comes out, and once that comes to fruition, once it comes out, I would just tell everybody, again, take a step back, wait till all this stuff comes into fruition, because everybody is really pumping it up to really think it's something that's really going to happen just because it's something with Discovery. We don't know what's going to happen yet. So we got to actually wait. They can say all the right stuff. It just, stuff has to start happening. So at the end of 22 of next year, not this year, the end of next year, that's when we might see things, or within the time frame of going into, let's just say, if nothing really happens from now all the way into the summer of next year, it's going to be some stuff. Because you got to remember, all those movies is coming out next year. Batman, Flash. So if those movies are not successful, which I know the Batman will be just because it's Batman, it could be the crappiest movie on the planet. People are still going to watch it.
Well, yeah, people still watched Batman and Robin. Just saying, people still watched it. So
yeah, they watched it.
That movie. I love that movie. It's good stuff.
That movie is trash. God,
yeah, but
I watched
that movie it's hilarious, though, man. Come on, like,
it's an homage. It's an homage to the 1960s Adam West. That's what it is.
Yeah,
but the problem is it's not a good homage. An homage is generally meant to be good. This is a bad homage, and
what I mean by that, Ambassador, is the campiness level.
Oh, I know,
but it's not campiness level, and they tried to
Arnold
basically modernize. They tried to modernize the camp.
That is not Mr. Freeze.
It was essentially the successor to the 1960s show, basically. It
might not have been Mr. Freeze, but it was hilarious.
Arnold didn't do a bad job as being Mr. Freeze.
Let me put it to you this. Go ahead, Prime.
No, Arnold Schwarzenegger didn't do a bad job being Mr. Freeze.
Oh yeah,
I'll probably say that's my only bright spot.
Funny.
I didn't care. I didn't care for Alicia Silverstone being Batgirl. Oh my God! And I didn't care Chris O'Donnell, George Clooney, and
Uma Thurman.
Not Uma Thurman. Yeah, like Uma Thurman's Poison Ivy. So Uma Thurman is Poison Ivy, and Arnold Schwarzenegger is Mr. Freeze. Those were the only two bright spots. Everything else was trash.
You know that movie almost got a sequel?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, Batman Triumphant.
And Batman Triumphant would have been a better film. I wish it would have happened.
Please.
Jeff Goldblum was going to be the Scarecrow, though. I mean, come on. Goldblum as the Scarecrow? That would have been so amazing.
Goldblum as the Scarecrow? No.
That's what I heard. No. That's what I...
No.
And Jack Nicholson was going to be the Joker as a Scarecrow hallucination.
No.
Yeah.
No.
It was actually a good script. I read it. It was pretty decent.
I would have rather set fire to that script to the set, to the costumes, and not to any of the people, just to all those things, and to every drop of film that they potentially had reserved to film that movie. I said,
party. Let's kick some ice.
Oh,
you
God.
are not making this movie. I will burn this mother to the ground. You ain't got enough water.
But Harley
I will
Quinn was
burn
also
this
gonna
mother
be in
to
it.
the ground. You will not make Batman triumphant.
Well, they didn't.
Thank
Yeah,
heavens.
Because
They
of
have-
Batman and Robin.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like Ambassador would have became a supervillain if they made that
Let me-
sequel.
let
The
me-
Ambassador.
Let me quote one of my favorite 90s comedians, Tim Allen, from one of his stand-ups. I would have rather pound my balls flat with a wooden mallet than seen that movie made.
Yeah.
The best part of Batman and Robin, the Batman Forever credit card. Never leave
That
the cape
credit
without it.
card?
It's the car. Chicks dig the car. Come on, man.
That's
all
from
those great
Batman
lines.
Forever, which is actually a superior
Oh.
movie compared to Batman and Robin.
And
Uma
can I just say,
Thurman
one thing?
was
Release the
was-
Schumacher cut.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, there you go. And speaking of release the Schumacher cut, we've got the Watchtower, Jeffrey Warfield. What's up,
Hey,
Jeffrey?
guys.
We're doomed.
Are they serious? He is gonna be Optimus Primal. Oh, I'm speaking out loud. My bad.
Who's gonna be Optimus Prime? Isn't it? Is it
Ron
what's his
Perlman
name?
gonna be Optimus Primal.
Oh no!
Who?
How's that even possible?
Who?
Perlman doesn't sound anything like Optimus Prime.
Ron
Yeah.
Perlman's going to be Optimus
He go-
Prime.
Optimus
Ron
Primal.
Perlman?
That's pretty cool. I like Ron Perlman. He's like one
I
of my
like
favorite
Ron
people.
Perlman.
Yeah, but but Peter Cullen is still alive, so why would you use anybody
Yeah, but
else?
No, they're doing
Optimus-
it's Optimus Primal, not Optimus Prime.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Optimus Primal.
No,
Yeah.
Optimus Primal sounds nothing like Optimus Prime. So Ron Perlman could work. That could totally work.
Yeah, it could work. It could work.
Yeah, it's Snyder Steppenwolf. Yes, Ron Perlman will always be Hellboy. That other guy is a cheap knockoff dime store Dollar Tree version of Hellboy.
Yeah, I mean Ron Perlman's Hellboy is the real deal. So
To
but we
quote
don't
one
want
of
to
my
get off.
favorite
We don't want
movies,
to.
there can be only one Hellboy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I mean,
Yeah,
I didn't even watch that new Hellboy. I didn't even watch
Don't.
it yet. I just know I'm not
Yeah.
because I know I'm not
Don't.
gonna like it. I know I'm not gonna
Yeah.
like it because
Yeah,
you know.
because pretty much like Hellboy is kind of like Hugh Jackman with the Wolverine. You could try to find someone who can replace him, but the bar is already set so high.
Hey, it is what it is. I mean, it is what it is, But ouch, it is what it is.
Here's
Yeah.
a small nugget of truth. Just about anyone can play the Batman. Just about
Yep.
anyone can play Spider-Man. There are a select few who can play Superman. There are even more select few who can play the Wolverine. And there is only one person who can play Hellboy, and that is Ron Perlman. But unfortunately, he's getting too old, which makes me sad. But we do still have Ron Perlman. He's not exactly a spring chicken anymore. I mean, yeah,
He's
they
just doing a
could-
voice. He's just doing a voice. He's not actually.
Yeah,
doing it actually.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, if they wanted to do more of the Hellboy animated movies, which I absolutely love,
Yeah, they should
Do
do more
it.
of those because that was the best adaptation we've had yet. Were those animated movies? Those were so fucking good.
oh yeah, totally. But we're here to talk about DC, not isn't Hellboy Hellboy owned by DC?
No, he's Dark Horse. At one point, DC
Oh,
did do distribution for him, but I don't think they even do that anymore. I think Dark Horse is completely independent now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. So, but anyway.
Well, Johnny, what did you
I
think?
digress.
Hellboy
Johnny,
got
what
the
did you
same-
think of the most recent Hellboy movie?
as a fan of the comics, I appreciated that they tried to make it a little more like the comics. I didn't like David Arbor's version of Hellboy though. He made him into a whiny little brat, and it was fucking annoying.
Don't get me
It
started.
really was. I'm gonna draw my line in the sand. It's like, what, dude? Hellboy doesn't whine like that. Like, you made like all the monsters look right. They look like Mike Mignola monsters. You did a great job with that, and then you screwed it up with the characterization, man. It was awful. It's a polar thing. There's some things that they did so good in the new one, and there's some things that they did so bad. And at the end of the day, it will never be Hellboy 2: The Golden Army, which will always be the greatest comic book movie ever made, in my opinion.
One of, yes, I would agree.
I need to respond to Rushman real quick because about that Spider-Man, about how no one can play Spider-Man. Like, to me, I think it's kind of like with Spider-Man, it's really kind of like a three-way identity thing that I see it as. Because to me, how I see it is my favorite interpretation of Spider-Man in terms of live action is Andrew Garfield, and really that's because he was really the most serious take on Spider-Man, which I really did like, because it was kind of like in the comics, but also in a sense kind of like another revision of it, kind of like what Ben Affleck did with Batman. And while for other people they like Tobey Maguire, and other people they like Tom Holland. Like there seems to be like everywhere Batman, there's always a sole function of what Batman should be with the Nolan fans. There's that, and the Snyder fans with Ben Affleck as Batman, and I think the Spider-Man thing is really kind of like the same thing. Is there's different factions of Spider-Man fans. So
I like the Japanese one the best, actually, to tell you the truth. Zod, you got it on hand? You got your Japanese Spider-Man DVD set?
Let me
Flash
take
for the
a
bad,
look
bad.
The Spider-Verse movie.
We're talking the actual Tokunetsu series from the 70s in Japan. They kind of did an homage to that in the Spider-Verse movie, I think, with the little girl, but like this was actually like a show like where he had a mech and everything. It's amazing, dude. Like I think it had 18 episodes.
You're talking about this. It's 41 episodes.
Wow.
And it's the entire Marvel run of Japanese Spider-Man, and to me, this is the best Spider-Man that this is the best Spider-Man that we ever got. It's fantastic. Jeffrey, you need to see it. DM me, Jeffrey, and I'll give you access to my Plex account, and you can log on. I've got the entire series uploaded to my Plex account with English subtitles, as Marvel had put it out a couple years ago. So you will love it. It is fantastic, especially if you're a fan of like kaiju and Super Sentai and all that stuff. It's fantastic. Fantastic.
Is it better than the Snyder Cut? Because that was a big phrase last time I was on here.
It's definitely close to being as good.
I mean, I would say that it's on the same wavelength as the Snyder Cut. I won't say that it's better, but I will say this: it's so entertaining. My God, the acting is fantastic. I mean, it is great. Like it's beautiful. I mean, it's Spider-Man, and it's the best Spider-Man's ever been, in my opinion. I mean, I love it. I absolutely love it. Hello, Rick. Thank you for being here, man. Appreciate it, man. Oh yeah, you're gonna love Spider-Man. You're gonna love the Japanese Spider-Man. I highly recommend people check out the Japanese Spider-Man.
If you love like stuff like Kamen Rider and Super Sentai and stuff, it's right there with it, with the same level of explosions and ninja fights and stuff. So cool.
Akancha, right now I'm indifferent to it. I definitely want to check it out. You know, I mean, she could make the role. She could be awesome in it. She could be terrible in it. We won't know until we see it. So I'm kind of reserving judgment right now. What about you guys?
Because really, like, I'm gonna be honest too. Like, this is the first time I've ever heard of her. So kind of like with Ben Affleck, with him being Batman, I'm just going to be very open to it.
Show me a trailer. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Well,
Exactly.
Batman is being the most logical there. Show me a trailer, right?
Yeah,
I
the same
mean,
way. Show me a trailer. Give me
Yep,
something to
show
go
me
off
trailer.
of, and then we'll go from there.
I got this. I purchased this this bootleg box set a few years ago off of a website. I don't know if the website is even still around anymore. It was called iOffer. I don't know if it's still out there, but this is where I got it off of iOffer. It's a very minimalistic box set. There's no labeling on any of the discs. They're just blank. You just put them in one after the other, and they're done. And they're just.
They put out an official release for it though too. I think around the time Homecoming came out, or
the
Far
official,
From Home, or one of those.
It wasn't an official release. What it was Marvel released it on their website for you to stream it, and I happen to have gotten those streams that Marvel put out, so I have all the episodes on my Plex account, on my Plex server, so you can watch it subtitled in English. Because the iOffer box set that I got several years ago doesn't even have any subtitles. You just put the disc in and you just watch the episodes, and they're just funny to watch because it's just so entertaining and the visuals are awesome. So, but I highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun. It's really awesome, and it's Spider-Man the way he was always meant to be, as far as I'm concerned.
Amen.
Oh, okay, I need to really see that now.
Akancha says, "Are you guys hating on Sasha Kaye, Supergirl?" No, not at all.
No, like I said, I've never heard of her until the announcement was made. So really, I'm going in this open-minded.
Amen to that. I'm
going to be honest. I like the suit. I like the suit.
Great.
I like the Joseph Campbell Kryptonian quote in the middle of the S. I think that's cool. That alone shows that it's kind of an homage to the Snyderverse, that in and of itself. So I kind of, I'm not hating on her at all. I think all she has to be is a good actress. She just has to do a good job in the role, regardless of if the movie sucks or not. She could still be good in the role. So I'm holding out hope. I really am. Right. I don't want to go into it negative at all, because again, I'm excited to see Michael Keaton come back as Batman. I'm excited to see what Ezra Miller does in his own solo movie as the Flash. I'm excited for all these little things that we're hearing, but at the same time, I'm cautiously optimistic overall when it comes to the movie. But I'm not gonna flat out crap on it because I don't know. I've never seen it, so I can't make a determination.
At this point, all she really has to do is outdo Helen Slater in film. So it's not like she's got too much to stack up against as Supergirl either. We've had a couple TV show versions that I don't know if you can consider them canon because they're not film versions. But so far in film, all we've had is Helen Slater. So I mean,
Helen Slater was not terrible.
No, she was great. I love that film, but all I'm saying is she's got to compete with that, and that's all. So I don't think she has any decks really stacked.
Did you forget about what was her name in Smallville? Andrea Vanderhoot, whatever her name was.
It was on TV.
She was pretty good. She was pretty good.
Yeah,
in
she
the
was
role
great.
Too.
I like the girl that had her own show. I just didn't think the show was very good.
The show was not good.
Yeah, it's CW. What do you expect? To us, JW for my taste personally.
And CW, and that was a good show.
And it's really crazy to me that for the Flash, for CW's Flash, like really, it's crazy to me that we're in like season 7. I haven't seen it in a minute. After I haven't seen it after the first few Zoom episodes, but it's crazy to me that the CW Flash still needs help, even
Oh,
though
God.
he's a veteran at this point.
Yeah, right. It's like to take down the weekly villain, he needs help. Yeah, you're right. It's ridiculous. Like, do you know how many people are saying that they wish they should have casted Grant in the movie? And
Yeah.
it's like, guys, he's not that good of a Flash. Sorry to break it to you. He's highly overrated.
Yeah.
Well, I think a lot of that just comes from him being in the role for so long, you know?
Yeah, because what season are we at now?
7.
Season 7, I believe.
Yeah, COVID kind of messed it all up with like the seasons and whatnot.
Yeah, because 7 seasons, going 7 seasons strong should really take a huge toll on a actor, especially let alone the main actor that you're being.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But don't forget, there's 2 people who are the Flash on that show. There's Barry Allen and Iris West Allen. They're both the Flash. Remember that.
Yeah.
I never could get into the CW shows. I don't know if it's maybe just a bias because I'm a Marvel guy or whatever, but I could never get.
The Flash is fun
yes.
for like the first 2, but like after that, it kind of really got hard to
I
watch.
will
And
say
Arrow was
this.
hard from the beginning.
I've got a friend. He was actually my best man in our wedding, and he watched a lot of the CW shows, and he really enjoyed them. I tried to sit down and watch with him because we went to college together, and I tried to sit down with him and watch some of the CW shows. And I was like, "Bud, I just don't like this." He's like, "Hey, it's cool. You don't like it. You don't like it." He's like, "You're not gonna hurt my feelings any."
Yeah.
He's about 10 years younger than me. He was born in 88. I was born in 78. And he's both a Marvel and DC guy, just like me. And I sit down and here's the crazy thing. Yesterday I sat down, I binged Falcon and Winter Soldier. All 6 episodes.
Yeah.
And I had to take a break once or twice just to like use the bathroom or whatever. But I watched it from start to finish. I was constantly engaged. I enjoyed the story. I enjoyed what they did. I'm not going to go into a full thing here. But comparing the DC shows and the Marvel shows, granted, the Marvel shows, they're on a much smaller time frame in terms of episodes, but they seem to tell a better story than, in a lot of instances, 7 seasons or more of a particular CW DC show does.
Okay.
Right.
Granted, that's just one guy saying that. That's just me saying this.
This is the best Marvel. This is the best Marvel show ever made right here, Ambassador. You got to check this out.
One of the things, though, Ambassador, is if you look at the episode runs, see the CW shows, they're looking at running this thing like a classic show. They got like something like 17 episodes a season. Whereas, like you're saying, these Marvel shows, Falcon and Winter Soldier it's basically a movie that they cut up into half-hour parts and put out. Whereas the Flash is more like a TV show. Like they try to start it off where he's like dealing with whatever the problems are this season while working in the bigger picture, and they just pump in filler too. You got to have like Arrow, and it drags ass. But I mean, the thing is CW is not trying to make their shit to be like films, whereas that's what Disney's doing with their shows. Basically, Disney's making movies for people to watch.
Yeah,
and the crazy thing is they're doing a pretty good job. But again, that's just me. So.
Yeah, and was
Well, yeah,
also
and well, 'cause they kind of struggled right out of the gate, man. Because Agents of Shield was really bad, and so is Agent Carter, to
That's
tell you
what
the
I've
truth.
heard.
So Marvel didn't
Yeah.
start out too good on TV too.
right. And
I agree.
really,
Yeah, I'll be.
wait,
I'll call balls and strikes. Sorry, Jeff.
Wait.
Didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
okay. But yeah, I gotta say, as someone who has been going on and off, has been having a on and off relationship with the CW shows in terms of DC, I gotta say the most consistent one was Black Lightning, because it seemed like they knew what they were going to do, where the show was going, and where the show was supposed to end. And you could say whatever you want about and I know, but
Yeah, that's their best one. Ended.
yeah, like it's really the best one in terms of like telling a singular story for like 4 seasons, and it ended on a good note. And what I found out was interesting was the people that did Black Lightning weren't weren't the people at all that do the shows like The Flash, Supergirl, like not all of the other typical Arrowverse shows that you call them.
Well, it wasn't even Arrowverse originally. It wasn't Arrowverse until Crisis made it Arrowverse. It was completely separate at first. I think so. I think it was basically the only thing it really had in common was it was a CW show on DC, and I think Burt Langley Productions technically, but they filmed it in Atlanta, so definitely different people. Whereas the other stuff filmed in Vancouver. So
and they had different writers and different producers. So because really, like, if you watch the show, it really doesn't like. Really, if you were to watch the show without knowing whatever network it was in, like, you wouldn't know that it was a CW show. Like, it's like, really, I found it that good.
Oh, you're right. I mean, I'll be honest, I didn't like the finale.
Another
so
thing
much.
that DC has. Go ahead.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying I didn't like the finale so much because it was kind of rushed in my opinion, and it was like, let's just say they did some things that like they introduced twists way too late in the game that I'm like, okay, the writers did not know this was the case. Like basically what happened, one of the characters had to get recasted because she left, but then she came back for the finale. So then what they said was that, so this, like, essentially there was some explanation for why she looked different, but it turned out it wasn't the real Jen. And I'm like, the writers did not know that. The writers totally pulled that out of their ass at the last minute. Like, you can't convince me that was actually planned.
Yeah, that really did come out of nowhere for me.
You'd have to watch the show to understand. Basically,
one thing DC's got going for it. Okay.
Go on.
I'm sorry.
Kind of similar.
No. Go ahead and finish what you were saying, man. I was gonna.
Okay, basically what happened is
I was just gonna say, like,
we're trying to like be polite and give each other's turns. Okay, I'm just gonna say my thing real quick, and then you can go. Okay, so basically there was an actress who played a character named Jen. She left in the middle of season 4. So what happened is she essentially goes up, becomes electricity, and then reforms as someone else. But then in the finale, when they got that actress back, they essentially said, "Oh no, that she didn't actually turn into that person. Particles came to life as a person and stole her memory." And like, it's like, no, you did not plan that. You made that up at the last minute because you couldn't be clever. And then Tobias, the bad guy, was defeated so quickly. Like, I wanted Tobias to have a Wilson Fisk type of defeat. Like, remember Daredevil, the season?
I thought it was that, actually. I really did.
But his name is still good, though. I mean, they never found evidence on him being bad. As far as the public knows, he was a good guy. Jefferson just killed him. It was just that.
But the public doesn't know that.
But the public thinks that he was a good guy still. I wanted to see his name ruined, his name crumpled down. It was just such a rush defeat. Like, I wanted, like, you know, like Wilson Fisk, you know, you got that montage, all the henchmen being arrested. I'm like, and it was so satisfying to see after a season of him, like, winning all the time. I wanted to see that.
Right.
So, yeah, I'm sorry. I know CW, you guys don't really watch it. And I don't blame you. It's the only thing I really watch anymore is Superman and Lois.
It's abysmal. The only thing the last thing I watched on CW was the Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover. And I wasn't really a fan. So
it was not that good. It was more fan service than story, let's be honest.
Yeah.
It wasn't even good fan service from what I hear anyway.
Yeah,
well, there is one thing people agree on. It did redeem Brandon Routh as Superman. Everyone does agree on that.
Yeah.
It
did do that. It did do a good job with. I don't know. To be honest, this is kind of a minority opinion. I'm not really a big fan of saying that all the DC live action is in one multiverse. I'm not the biggest fan of that, to be honest with you. I know that's kind of a hot take, but
no, I get it. It's complicated. It's complicated.
Like, there's certain things that are like multiverse singularities. Like, they introduced Lucifer in the crossover, but Lucifer is so underpowered. But it was fine when it was just kind of its own little thing. But now, knowing that it's part of this big multiverse, you're essentially telling me that Lucifer could get his ass kicked by a regular super.
No.
Doesn't work for me.
He didn't fight any super.
But if you look at his strengths in the show Lucifer compared to the strengths of, like, Superman could kick his ass. Superman should not be able to kick an angel's ass.
But that's the thing. Lucifer is on par with Superman.
Lucifer has magic, and he could beat him with magic because Superman is defenseless against it. That's how Lucifer would be able to beat him, because he tossed out that Eldritch shit. See, they have things like that tied into the DC lore, like the dark side. Like, that's how come Superman doesn't usually fight. Like, the characters that, like, say John Constantine or Swamp Thing or them have to fight because magic is like almost as bad as kryptonite to him. He has no defenses against it.
Oh yeah,
so Lucifer would be able to take him.
Okay, he's powerful, but not the show. In the show, he's pretty weak. Like, regular bullets hurt him, and not just like when Chloe's around. I mean, like, even when Chloe's not around, bullets can hurt angels. They can kill demons on that show. And I'm like, no, not in a deep. And it was fine when it was its own thing. When it was its own thing, I didn't mind so much. But when it exists in the large multiverse, it's like. So,
I do have a question. I don't know if any one of you can answer this. Where did the whole concept? I mean, I understand the concept of Superman being vulnerable to the arcane and magic and sorcerers and all that sort of thing. Where exactly did that come from? I mean, does anybody know who came up with that concept of Superman being vulnerable to magic users?
Writers,
really?
No, I think it comes from like his deep lore, though. That sounds like some golden age writing, to tell you the truth. So I would say it comes from way back in his lore.
Okay.
What it sounds like to me, because they didn't really start writing about magic and all that arcane stuff until the mid '90s, when like Neil Gaiman and all those guys started bringing on all those characters back and shit. So I would think, and none of them wrote about Superman really interacting with those characters. So I would think they would have to happen kind of before the whole the comic authority code thing, back when they were used to be able to write comic books about sorcery and arcane shit. And so I would say that it's definitely dates back to like way back in Superman's lore, but I can't tell you specifically who created it.
Okay.
It might have been Bob or Schuster and Schumacher themselves came up with it. I'm not sure, because I don't know too much about Superman, but
it might have been the Shazam creator.
That's a possibility too. I'll do some research on it.
Well, he was Captain Marvel then, not Shazam.
Well, he did not. Yeah, he didn't become part of DC either until I think the 70s or something. He was actually created by a different comic book label and got moved into DC through mergers and stuff.
No,
so
not Miles.
I don't know.
You know, I'm gonna look this up. We have internet. Why are we?
Good point.
Well, one of the other really good things DC has going for it, which nobody ever brings up, are the DC Universe shows, man. Those were really good. No, I would say those are on par with what Disney's doing with Marvel, especially like the Doom Patrol show and the Swamp Thing show.
Well, Swamp Thing's canceled.
That's who actually put out. I know it was canceled, but it was still so good for what it was. You know what I mean? I mean, it was a really, really strong little.
But most of the DC shows are going to be on HBO Max now, which is great. Like Harley Quinn, I love the Harley Quinn show, and we lost ZodWriter.
Yeah.
Oops. But
have you checked out Doom Patrol at all yet, Ken?
Oh yes, Doom Patrol. I love Doom Patrol. I was so happy to see Crowley back. Crowley on Supernatural. I'm a huge Supernatural fan. When the
from Supernatural, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Straight up, yeah. I'm right there with you. When he showed up as the magician guy in Doom Patrol, that was so awesome.
Yeah.
I will tell you the one and only character from Supernatural that I even remotely like, I legit seriously liked, Death.
Oh,
the character that I found even remotely interesting from that whole dang show was Death. The guy who played the Horseman Death, that guy, he could. Oh my gosh, he had.
He was in Man of Steel. Fun fact: he was the head of the Kryptonian Council in Man of Steel.
Yeah.
Was he real? Oh, that's right, he was.
Yeah.
Holy crap! I didn't even realize that. Holy crap! I didn't even realize that. I mean, every clip that I can find of Death from Supernatural, I watch because that's how much I love that character and the guy who played him. He had such a great look, great aesthetic. His presence, he's like, I am older than all of you. I am older than God. I will reap God. And I'm thinking, okay, that is extremely blasphemous, not to mention it goes against every drop of Christian theology that exists, but still.
They made God the villain of season 15, and as a result,
that to me as a Christian is outright blasphemy, heresy, every type of C that you can think of. That does not fly for me. But I understand. I do understand it's a fictional show, but still, I do not approve. But I'm not going to get off on the whole theological rant here about what Supernatural did. So,
well, everything after season 5 to me is non-canon. So.
Like, yeah, that series went on way too long.
Yeah, like 15, 16.
The Scooby-Doo crossover was awesome, though.
The what crossover?
I didn't see it.
Because
the Scooby-Doo crossover?
They didn't do a crossover.
It ended on season 17, I believe.
Oh wow, that's way too much. Yeah, that's way too much.
Yeah, there are shows that go on for way too long. Supernatural was one of those. At least with Buffy,
Walking Dead. The Walking Dead.
It ended at 7 seasons. 7 is the number of completion. Is the perfect number. Theologically speaking,
season 5 was had an actual ending, and then they went on. Like that's why you can actually I told new people that you can literally stop at season 5. There's nothing, because it doesn't end on a cliffhanger. Yeah, Sam was brought back soulless, but it's not revealed until season 6. As far as you know, God just brought Sam back. Mm-hmm. And you can assume that he brought Adam back, because I can never forgive the Winchester brothers for leaving Adam in the cage for 10 years. No, Sam and Dean were villains after season 5.
Yeah, I never cared for Supernatural.
You're a monster. They were villains the whole time.
Yeah, no. Honestly, after season 5, Sam and Dean are pretty much villains, as far as I'm concerned. I love the first 5 seasons, but I watched the rest of the 10 out of loyalty more than quality. So
I can understand that. I mean,
yeah,
I wanted to share a hot take about Batman v Superman I heard from my best friend. So I want to get your guys' reaction to this.
Oh
Sure.
boy, this is gonna be
He
fun.
said that Batman was in the right and that Superman
yeah.
was greedy. Was greedy. Oh, right. Yeah, Jeffrey, you were in that chat. That's right.
Yeah, like and my response to that was like, what movie did he watch? Was it Superman being a hitman? Because I would actually like to see that.
Yeah. Like, I'm like, what?
Did he say how he was greedy in any way?
Yeah, he said he was
Yeah.
greedy.
How give me some context. How
Yeah, but did he explain?
How
I
exactly?
asked, he didn't
How
have an
exactly is
answer.
Superman greedy?
I asked him. He didn't really have an answer to it.
Answer.
Well, then I hate to
See-
say
see,
it,
like-
but your friend's hot take isn't much of a hot take. If you
Yeah,
can't
no,
back
no,
up,
I agree.
if you
I totally agree. I mean, I'm very when it comes to those like Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, Zack Snyder's Justice League. I'm very defensive of those movies. Like,
Yep.
I unmatched a girl that I was going to meet up with on Bumble because she disliked Man of Steel and Batman v Superman.
yeah, you don't need that type of negativity in your life.
Exactly.
I say that.
Yeah.
I say that somewhat tongue in cheek. Well, yeah. Let me ask you all a question because you all are.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
I
think
mean,
of
I've watched.
greedy
I have
in what
watched.
way.
I've watched BVS a couple of times now, and I do enjoy it. Let me ask you all an honest question. Do you believe that one of the themes that Zack Snyder was in with, and this is kind of going back to a video I did a few months ago. Do you believe one of the themes that Zack was dealing with in this movie is the concept of how different people from different backgrounds or different perspectives handle the authority and the power that they are either that they acquire or that they are given in the terms of Lex, Bruce, and Clark?
Never thought of it that way, but I can see it.
Yes. I've
Yeah.
definitely
That's an interesting
got
question.
I definitely got those vibes, especially when the Ultimate Edition came out.
Yeah, because that's the only version I've ever watched is the Ultimate Edition. I did a watch party for it back in February with Brian Hill. I don't know if y'all know
You're a
him.
lucky man, because I remember recently going back to the theatrical cut of BVS, and it is choppy compared to the it really
Like
is
the Ultimate Edition.
Yeah, I forgot how choppy the theatrical cut was to compare to the Ultimate Edition.
Zod's back. I said Zod's back.
Oh,
yeah, you know, I'm having technical issues. I think people are trying to take down my stream again. I don't know what I did to these people.
Tobria or Patty
well, we
Jenkins.
carried on without
Patty
you, sir.
Jenkins.
Well, yeah, you carried on without me. It's a good conversation. You know, thank you for keeping it up. I don't know what the heck is going on.
One does what one can't. Zon, let me ask you this question. I asked these guys the same thing before you came back in. I did a video like a few months ago talking about, and this is in retrospect after watching BVS a couple of times, BVS Ultimate. Do you believe that Zack was doing a commentary or presenting the startup for a conversation as to the use of authority and power that people from different backgrounds or positions are either gained or granted in the terms of Lex, Bruce, and Clark, and how each person reacts to the power or authority that they have been given?
I think that's as good a theory as any, man. I mean, there's a lot of
I know there's a lot going on in the movie, but that's one that I picked up on.
I agree with you. That's a lot. You know, that's a lot to look into, and there's a lot of, particularly with like BVS. I mean, you've got so many layers and so many social constructs that are being built up and torn down all within the course of that one film. So yeah, I'm with you on that. I probably. Yeah.
Well, there was another question. This is one that I never did a video on or anything. But do you believe that we as a people, if we were to finally get hard evidence, like what was presented in Man of Steel and BVS, that we are not alone in the universe, and we had a being like Superman that came into our world, that came into our lives and said, I am here as a guide, as a protector, as a guardian. Do you believe that we would react the same way that people reacted, which was kind of split into two different factions? Or do you think that we would react differently than than how people did in Man of Steel and BVS?
Man of Steel, BVS all the way.
BVS all the way.
We are so divided now.
Because it's really I'm not gonna get too much into it, but I'm just gonna say, all I'm gonna say is this: just look at the political world that we live in right now.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any other evidence that we would not? Is there any evidence that presents that we won't react like how the reaction was in BVS?
You're right, Jeffrey.
Jeffrey, look at the way society as a whole, worldwide society, has reacted to the pandemic. That's all the evidence you need. Look at the way society's reacted to that. You think, you know, Zack Snyder was spot on with how humanity would react to Superman. That's exactly what you would have. I think we've shown, you know, pardon my French on this, but a humanity has shown their ass so many times that there's no doubt that if Superman were real, that's exactly how it would be. And that's the reason why all these nonsensical mouth breathers who hate Zack Snyder and who hate us for being fans of Zack Snyder don't want to understand, because they don't want to see their fantastical Superman in our crappy real world. That's what it's all about, because they know that's exactly what it would be. Superman would not be accepted in open arms if he were to come down from Krypton tomorrow. Could you imagine all of the hate groups and all of the xenophobic people that would be talking crap out the yin yang about Superman if he were to actually appear before us as an actual physical being? Are you kidding me? Oh my God! You would have factions on this planet who would be trying to kill Superman on a regular basis. You'd have people analyzing every move that he makes. He'd be politicized on the left. He'd be politicized on the right. He'd be politicized in the center. A Superman, if he were to come to our world, he'd be better off flying back off of Earth and going straight back to Krypton, even if there's no Krypton left, because Earth is a cesspool of nonsense. If it comes to that, I wouldn't want to be the first alien to land on this planet. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah. Well, and you know, let me present one other thing, and then Jeff or whoever was wanting to speak. Look at the reaction that a movie, and I know it's a very old movie, but it's a very great movie, and I say that with all sincerity. The original Day the Earth Stood Still. Look at the reaction that the alien, Mr. Klaatu, how he was perceived by the people of this world. And this was during the beginning of the Cold War in the 1950s. Look at the reaction to that character. I would say Zack Snyder, I think this is a given at this point. Zack Snyder knows his film lore, knows his film history. So
I think he knows humanity. I think he knows humanity better than anyone else, actually.
I mean, most
I'd say there's people. I'd say there's this particular being that knows humanity better than anybody else. But I do understand what you're saying, Jeffrey.
I think,
because I'm just talking about human being, like in terms of like a human being understanding humanity. I think he understands humanity better than any other human.
Yep. Yeah, he definitely does.
But I think what Snyder was doing with Man of Steel and BVS does harken back to the original Day the Earth Stood Still, because there was so much mistrust about the alien in that movie, and his mission was one primarily that was benevolent. I mean, he did do the thing where he did cause the Earth to stand still to get everyone's attention, and then you had that very impactful monologue at the end. And it's one that I don't know verbatim, but I do remember bits and pieces of it. And I think Man of Steel and BVS do echo it to various degrees. That's why I always have had appreciation for Zack Snyder as a filmmaker. He knows his film history. He knows his movies. He knows the classics. That's why I respect it. That's why I respect him as much as I do.
I'm actually pretty surprised. Yeah, I'm actually also surprised that Zack Snyder managed to keep a consistent tone, like in Zack Snyder's Justice League, because despite Zack Snyder's Justice League still being a Zack Snyder film, his comedy, like the humor in that film, was still pretty consistent a little bit. Yeah. So it is a little lined up in like some parts, which I'm actually kind of impressed on how he would do that.
I'm impressed, but I'm not surprised.
Right, because I actually remember watching some reviews of. I'm still actually seeing some reviews of Zack Snyder's Justice League, and the people are saying that the funniest jokes that were in Justice League are the funny jokes that are in Zack Snyder's Justice League. Which really is funny to really think about it, especially for the people who say that Zack can't do comedy.
Yeah.
This is realistic comedy. Life has humorous moments. Life has depressing moments. That's how the world works. And that's what Zack captured perfectly.
Yeah, he did capture perfectly.
Well, his first movie was Dawn of the Dead, and that's one of the funniest horror films that have ever come out, in my opinion. His Dawn of the Dead is hysterical. So
I'd agree.
Yeah.
Well, I agree as well. Hey everyone, sorry, I'm really late.
Hey Carlos, good to see you, man.
Oh, what's up, buddy? Damn.
Estoy aquí. That's Spanish for I'm here.
Anyway, the estoy part.
Yeah, aquí.
It's been a long time since I've taken high school Spanish. So.
Yeah. I was just listening to what you guys were saying. Like, no, I kind of got the last half of that, but I pretty much agree. I do appreciate how Zack did his more realistic take on how Earth would react to a Superman. Because I think about that myself. Like. I daydream and wander, and I'm like, shoot, I could be Superman, dude, easily. But then again, it's like that's a lot of responsibility, more than anybody could ever even comprehend. The only thing is that the redemption of that, and kind of like that solidifying your place as humanity's protector, and the bulk of humanity now kind of favors you, as like you've seen in. Zack Snyder's Justice League, and at the end of BVS, where humanity was, everybody was mourning him. I'm gonna be honest, and I think it's time for hot takes. Okay, I know I personally think BVS fell a little flat with how Superman's reputation was redeemed in the eyes of humanity. I don't think Doomsday was the best choice.
Yeah,
I really don't.
Yeah,
I see that.
I gotta be honest. I was kind of pissed off that they actually inputted the death of Superman in his second DCU film, like Henry Cavill's second DCU appearance.
Well, let's be clear about that. Zack wanted to do a proper sequel to Man of Steel first, but WB said no.
I'm hearing that, but then what would it be? Like, I hear
it probably would have been. It most likely would have been Brainiac, I think.
Yeah, Zack actually did confirm that.
All a bit about how greedy Superman was. That greedy Superman.
But it was actually confirmed by Zack that the villain of the initial Superman sequel was going to be Brainiac.
Well, I know. Zach was saying that he wanted to implement Batman into the universe, but he wouldn't say, like, if he was to actually have an official title for what BVS was before then, he said he would want it to be like Batman and Superman, not versus, because when you listen to versus, it kind of gets into that fight night,
Yeah,
run down, drag out kind of fight, which is not really meant to be that.
Right. The movie wasn't meant to be freaking arena, and that's how they marketed it. Like, it was, I mean, yeah.
Like I'm just wondering, in lieu of Doomsday, like, if that wasn't his true vision, because if it was, I mean, like, I remember seeing on Vero that the Ultimate Edition of BVS, Zach was like, yeah, that's mine. I claim that. You know what I mean? Like, of course, hindsight 2020, you might want to change something here or there. I think every director wants to do it. There's no final cut of a movie. A director always wants to tweak something. But
yeah, that's actually,
I have a counter argument.
That's actually what George Lucas said, that not every film is 100%. It's like at the very most 99% done, because the directors always want to change something in hindsight, which is
George Lucas did, like, with
you mean like his
exactly.
You mean like his re-releases of A New Hope?
Yep.
Don't get me started on those.
Yeah,
get me started.
Let's see those dinosaur scenes. You gotta admit, without those CGI dinosaurs at Mos Eisley, it felt kind of empty, and I don't know. I'm shooting first.
No. Don't misunderstand me. The special editions, the original special editions that came out in '97 that were released in theaters, those I have absolutely no problem with. It was the half a dozen other updates that Lucas did throughout the years. Now, granted, some of them were warranted in terms with the design and texturing for Jabba the Hutt. The final version of Jabba the Hutt that we get was much better in A New Hope. I agree with that. But after a while, it just got to be new. It just got to be too much for me. I mean, I'm happy. I've got them on Blu-ray. I've got the
re-release of A New Hope.
I've got the limited special edition of the non-specialized versions of the original trilogy on DVD. I'm happy with that. But I don't know how I would feel if the Man of Steel sequel was going to deal with Brainiac. I mean, it has the potential to work, but at the same time, Brainiac's another big villain. You start off with Zod, and then you go to Brainiac.
I mean,
it almost, like, all honesty, I don't think
it almost seems like a dip it seems like a dip, or maybe not so much a dip, because
Brainiac
maybe it is
almost
an escalation.
Well, Brainiac would take it back to Krypton, which they would need to explain a lot more in part 2. So I think that no matter what, he would probably be the perfect villain for the second film if they were going to make a traditional second Superman film.
I just think Brainiac is too big for this Superman, who's still pretty not experienced. Like, he did get a major power up in Zack Snyder's Justice League when he got revived. He's killing new gods. He's doing business. I get that, you know what I mean. But he doesn't have that kind of seniority in the hero.
Brainiac, to me, he feels more like more of a Justice League film, depending on how massive the danger is.
I have to agree, because Brainiac has gone up against the Justice League many times and has come out often in certain situations on top. I mean, if you look at the Justice League animated series, many occasions Brainiac got the better, at least for a while, of the Justice League. It wasn't always the Justice League coming out on top. Now, fun fact for those of you that have HBO Max like myself, they recently uploaded the original 1960s, 1970s Super Friends animated series.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
I cannot help but laugh, because there's going to be people out there going, yeah, but every single time the Justice League wins or Super Friends, the Justice League wins. But in Justice League and Justice League Ultimate, oftentimes the bad guys won. And that's what made it interesting, because you had an even playing field and you had villains who had the capacity to beat the bad guy. That's what makes the stories interesting and fun to revisit. The good guy doesn't always win.
Yeah.
And like, I don't like I don't even know if there's like enough kind of how do you say it? Like foundation built for Brainiac. I mean, like, I know that the sentient AI within like Kryptonian technology and the liquid geo kind of tendrils and stuff like that that they have, like, that's kind of like the roots of Brainiac, and then that AI still kind of exists in the scout ship and stuff like that. But I don't know if, like, out of nowhere, you know, that AI becomes self-aware and then malicious, and then, you know, probably like wants to go into the Phantom Zone, get some, you know, Feora or whatever, get some people to join the kind of legion that he wants, you know. But I just feel like it'd be way too convenient. I feel like there's no build up to kind of show you.
I think there is a build up.
He was from the beginning, but like, as far as I see from like Man of Steel, Krypton was destroyed by the bureaucracy and like the kind of rulers there being stubborn and stuff like that. Like, but in like, I don't remember which exact series it was, but like Brainiac was behind that, or
Superman the animated series.
Carlos, you're thinking of Superman the animated series,
and in Injustice, Brainiac was literally the one who is like literally digitizing planets and was like taking over Krypton with that. In this one, I feel like it'd be way too convenient if it was just like, okay, I know now. I have just this one little scout ship on Earth. Okay, let me you know, challenge all the heroes who already beat Steppenwolf now. Like, I don't think, personally, I think that's a little too easy.
Well,
but then again, I don't know what's in store. I don't know if Zack Snyder was to do that. I don't know what he was planning.
Well, Henry Cavill definitely wants a second solo Superman.
Right.
I mean, that's definitely confirmed. I mean, my hope is that we get the Zack Snyder Justice League 2 and 3 first, and then like once Superman's like the Superman that we know, then we get to see him take on Brainiac, and possibly Supergirl could be in that movie, and maybe get some other Justice League members for the third act to make, you know, fighting Brainiac more believable.
Yeah.
I
mean, I don't know anymore. Like, the more I'm looking back on it, I do really like Zack Snyder's Justice League and BVS and stuff like that. But I don't know. I guess this is the MCU talking it to me, as Prime would say. I've been indoctrinated. I'm in it. You know. I'm in the sludge right now. But like, I don't know. Like, seeing how the story is, I feel like everything was way too fast. In all honesty, I think it was way too fast. I mean, they're already killing new gods in the third movie. But that's
Carlos. You're not alone here, bud. Trust me.
Like,
Marvel rushes shit too, dog. Look at what they did to Ultron.
True.
Yeah, Ultron was taken out like that.
That's true.
I mean, and Loki was taken out pretty easily too.
Wait, because since we're talking about the MCU real quick, and really this is just my 2 points on this, because this is my thing on why I think Brainiac would have been the perfect villain for the Man of Steel sequel, because like Loki and the Avengers, he was the physical villain, right? Mm-hmm. He was the physical villain of the first Avengers movie, right? Then you have Ultron, who is really kind of more like the more mental, fighting from a distance type of villain. Where
I think he was pretty physical. I think, like, you could kind of equate it to Wanda, but even though that's like half a villain, if you really want to do it, make that argument, you'd probably say like Zemo.
Yeah, because like, I mean, Ultron in theory worked as from a distance villain, but then like he just uploaded a bunch of bodies and then he was completely physical. Whereas Zemo had hot take. I didn't think Civil War was a good movie.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
Yeah, in hindsight,
Civil War was a horrible storyline anyway, and then they turned it into a movie. So I don't know what to tell you.
The movie was slightly better, but like it's still just a terrible story.
They also neutered it because they didn't have everybody that was in the comics, so they kind of like bite-sized it.
Well, yeah, the movie was actually like civil fist fight in a parking lot more than it was a war.
Yeah.
Civil freaking scuffle.
Zemo's plan made no sense because if all of Team Captain America beat all of Team Iron Man, Zemo's plan would have failed. If Iron Man did not show up at the exact same time as Captain America, Zemo's plan would have failed. If Iron Man did not show up alone as a friend out of the Accords that he agreed to, Zemo's plan would have failed. If Bucky wasn't stupid and plugged his ears when he broke free, Zemo's plan would have failed.
Yep, and this is also pretty convoluted if you think about it, because because it all comes back to that tape. Like, Zemo had that tape, and he could have Zemo had that tape that had Bucky killing Tony's parents, right? So coincidentally, like, he could have emailed the tape. He could have emailed the tape to Tony to say, "Play me," and then that could have started it.
Well, that tape was the big thing anyways. Like, it was from a security camera on some random country road in the middle of the night in 1992. In the year 1992. Like, so it would not be in color. There would be no sound to it. And you wouldn't be able to tell really what was what. I mean, if you look at most security cameras nowadays, you will find that people have... Like, how did he get such good quality from a 1992 surveillance camera?
If you remember, the video quality, it was not in color. It was rather grainy, but you could make out enough of what was happening. I mean, it's not difficult to see a man of Bucky's size walking around the wreckage of Howard and Maria's car, him taking them out, and
wasn't that outside of a SHIELD facility as well?
No, it's like out in the country by their house.
I don't honestly remember exactly where that road is, but the fact is, Tony could make out what was happening. Tony understood what was happening. He had seen the pictures of the wreck of his parents' vehicle, but he assumed that they were killed in the accident, which at that speed and that velocity that they were going, potentially they could have been killed like that. But we find out later it wasn't a car accident; they were murdered. So this is not me taking on you guys. Please don't think that.
No, we don't.
You're confusing the actual footage that they see on the television screen with it transitioning to, like, quote unquote live action footage of Bucky carrying out Howard and Maria's murders.
Okay, yeah, I get it. Like,
That's where you're getting things crossed up.
Really, the video quality, I had no problem with. I actually completely got it, like you said, Ambassador. But for me, it was like the thing with the tape is that Zemo just could have mailed it to Tony after the events of the Winter Soldier, because that's when his shield got compromised, and it could have happened earlier.
It would have been after Age of Ultron, because it was the events of if I remember correctly, it was the events of Age of Ultron that made Zemo want to destroy the Avengers.
Yeah, his family died when the city fell.
Yeah, essentially his family, his wife, his children were killed when Sokovia was destroyed.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So essentially that was his motivation. Now, I will say, in hindsight, looking at what they did with Zemo for Falcon and Winter Soldier,
they redeemed the character. It's so cool now.
They did a really good job with Zemo, and I watched, like I said, I binged the whole thing yesterday. I still have not found the footage of him dancing in the club or wherever that people have.
That was episode 3 when like they first went to Madripoor.
Oh, okay. I guess I just missed it. I must have blinked or whatever.
It was after they met Sharon, and then like Sharon was like, "Okay, I gotta meet somebody. Hey, wait here in the club." just chill.
Oh,
for a
that's
second.
right. That's right.
Yeah, and
And I'll say this too.
pump it up.
I actually liked this new version. I liked this added depth to Sharon Carter, where she isn't just plain vanilla good guy. She's got some depth to her now as a power broker. I like that. I did. I dug that.
Is it me, or did like anyone else just mentally check out of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier? Because like, to be honest, I checked out of everything that the Flag Smashers had to do.
That didn't make sense.
Like,
to me.
literally, like it's just like didn't compute into my brain. All I know is that they hate freaking the governments, because like people that have moved into places after the snap.
It was a dig at what's going on in Israel and Palestine, and they were trying to make it as unpoliticized as possible. And it was them trying to make a point with things that were going on in the real world, and they kind of, by not actually taking a face on and not addressing it with what it was supposed to be and doing it half-assed, it didn't come out as good as they would have liked. But I saw what they were trying to do with it. If you look at some of the what's going on in the world around, that's what they were playing with that idealism. And the different factions you have attacking each other in places like that, and they were trying to make a drama out of it, and I think they did a decent enough job. I think that but the thing is, I don't know why they made up a different goofy faction when they could have just made them like the Young Serpent Society or something that actually exists in the Marvel Comics universe.
Like Flag Smasher exists in the comics. Like he hates different countries, and like I kind of or that's like part of it right now.
The only thing that I did not care for with Falcon and Winter Soldier, and it does connect directly to the Flag Smashers, and no, this has nothing to do with the fact that it's a woman. I did not find the character of Carly Morgenthau a captivating villain. I would have rather. I'm sorry, she was a child playing an adult game, and she was entirely out of her depth. And in the end, she got her ass handed to her by people that were smarter and more cunning than she was. I mean, for crying out loud.
Eventually, though, but like if you watch most of the show, like she is able to beat up both the Falcon, Bucky, and the new Captain America herself, and she's just a little girl that took shots where they're like trained soldiers with. Two of them are trained soldiers with this.
I will say,
and one
I will
actual
say this.
super soldier.
I will say this. She barely held her own.
Ambassador.
Barely held her own.
Wait, guys. I'll tell you what I think about her real quick. I did not see her really as a villain. I really did see her more as kind of like an anti-hero in a sense where really, if you were really the type of lens that I looked at her, was kind of like the teen rebel was kind of like a teen rebel and a parent's mythology. Like let's go with that a little bit.
But she actually carried out a terrorist act, though. Like she became a villain when she did that.
And she murdered a U.S. soldier, kidnapped a bunch of.
Let me explain. You guys are taking that out of. So this is what I mean. So she wanted basically world peace, but in a sense of like a code name Kids Next Door type of scenario where kids kind of rule the world, because I think the mindset that she was in is that the kids are the future to society. Because if you really think about it, if you're looking at the whole Flag Smasher group, they're basically like teenagers, essentially like teenagers to first years of college. Like that's how I looked at it. Like it was really a sense of like, I think the group that the that the storytellers were going for was really that the future are the kids, and it's like the past, and it's the past, the adults who trying to learn from their point of view.
No,
That's
she's
Like
not
respectfully,
going
that wasn't how it was. It was
That's
that
how I looked at it.
they were
That's how I saw it at all.
Basically, she was your typical radicalized person with their normal, maybe a cookie cutter version of their thought pattern, and they made it a youth because they are technically the easiest people to radicalize. So
she
I mean,
was
they
an
just kind of
anarchist.
played with
She was an
news.
anarchist.
Yeah,
Like,
I know all kinds of
radical
kids that
anarchist.
think just like her, but like, yeah, they don't actually murder people or anything. So
Well, guys, speaking of me and mentally checked out, I'm sorry, but I think we're going to go ahead and end today's episode. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. This was fun, a little strange at the beginning, but all things considered, I think it was cool. So we'll be back next week with more of the ZodWriter Show. I want to thank the panel. I want to thank everybody for watching, and have a good night, everybody.
Peace.
Peace.
Later.
That was different, man.
we're still
We're still on.